Hello, everybody. This is Joe from Joey Hustles 961 and Safe Home Preservation Lebanon. And I love Lebanon. And here are 7 reasons why you should too. Before we begin, I do need to build this channel for the cause. So be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more Lebanese style content. There's plenty more to come. Trust me. Let's get on with it. Number 1, the geography. Lebanon is a big mountainous country, or actually it's a small mountainous country that sits right on the Mediterranean Sea. And whether or not like your sleep differs, for instance, there's a lot of differences that goes along with elevations, right? Like for instance, if I'm in Beirut, I need a full 8 hours of sleep. If I'm in Ehdin, the air is thinner or thicker, I don't know. So I only need because of the elevation, so I'll only need like 5 or 6 hours of sleep. That's really, I don't know. I find that really, really cool. That's due to the elevation and the geography. It sits on the Mediterranean Sea, right? You will never find a shortage of restaurants or bars or nightclubs that sit right on the ocean. It's got beaches. It's got, I don't know, it's got a lot of stuff. I like the mountains too, right? Because up in the mountains, there's nobody there. It's like, people confuse Lebanon with a desert. There is no desert, but there's a lot of mountains and it's open for acres and miles and space. Like there's space. Anyways, moving on. Number 2, the food. And I'm not just saying this because I'm Lebanese. Lebanon's got some of the best food in the world, and it's not just because it's Lebanese food. Lebanon's very progressive, I want to say, and very diverse. It allows a lot of other cultures, and I want to say, especially their cuisine. If you go to Beirut, it's all Starbucks and McDonald's and KFC, and not just that. That's the basic stuff, but they obviously have a lot of gourmet places that are like Tavolinas, for instance. I love Tavolinas. My favorite Italian restaurant I've ever been to is in Beirut, actually, believe it or not. They got Swiss butter. They got, which is right on Jemaise. They got it in Jaladib too, right? They have a lot of really good local brands that emulate other cultures that just did it better. For me, as an American, I'm speaking. Like, I'm telling you, the best Italian food I ever had in my life is at Tavolina's. Figure that out. And I grew up around Italians. Ouch. Moving on. Number 3, world-class nightlife. Listen, I'm not the only one to say this, but people from around the world go to Lebanon just to party. They'll go there for a weekend just to party. Their nightclubs go on to like 4 or 5 in the morning, like, and they're world-class. We're talking White, Caprice, Iris, so on and so forth. BO18. They have a nightclub, an after-hours place, BO18, that's in a bomb shelter. It used to be a bomb shelter, and now it's an after-hours place. Lebanese people love to party and they know how to do the nightclub scene. I'm going to tell you, it's a clean nightclub scene, meaning you don't see too much other substances other than the tainted alcohol that they can only really buy there anyway. So I'd be sure to check it out. Beautiful women, beautiful, like people dress up, like it's the glamour style. If you're into that sort of thing, Lebanon's your spot. Even people from Dubai go to Lebanon. It's crazy, right? Moving on. Number 4, history. I'm a huge history buff. I love American history. I try to study it as much as I can, and I still don't have enough time for it, even though I love it so much. And it's new. American history is only, what, a couple hundred years old, 300-400 years old. Lebanon's history goes back thousands of years. It's so rich in history. It's scary for me to even begin to try to understand it, if that makes sense, because I know there's just going to be so much to go through, and you learn new things every day. Like different cultures lived there. Lebanon wasn't always Lebanon. Lebanon used to be Syria before Syria was Syria. I didn't know that. Lebanon used to be ruled by the French. I didn't know that. Lebanon used to be a million things that I still don't know. You know what I mean? Like Lebanon's got a lot of history in it, and I've barely scratched the surface about it, but it's super interesting, and everybody should check it out if they can. Moving on. Number 5, different cultures. Lebanon's a small country with a bunch of different kinds of religions in them. I think 20 was the last time I checked. Safe to say that brings along different cultures, right? No, like for instance, I'm from Zgharta, right? I know everybody from Zgharta because I know the way they're all the same pretty much. But Zgharta and Tripoli are not the same. And Tripoli, inside Tripoli, is also divided into X different cultures, we could say. Meaning there's a lot of different people with different perspectives to meet and gain information from. And it never bores me because I ask a lot of questions and those people love to talk. They don't like to work, but they love to talk. So I find people interesting. Lebanese people interest me. They're nice. They're great people. They're very welcoming. They're hospitable. They're very kind. They're helpful. Uh, and yeah, moving on. Just a quick reminder, if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe. And also, if you like these shirts, $10 or these coffee mugs that have the Lebanese mug on them, be sure to hit up my Instagram. There's an online shop. It's at Joey Hustles 961. I'll also put a link in the description. And here's the best part of all this. 100% of the proceeds go to economic recovery efforts by Joey Hustles 961. Moving on. Number 6, the people themselves. I know I was just talking about them, and I know that I have my differences with most of them because we have opposite philosophies about the way we handle economies and recessions and recoveries and how you're supposed to work to get out of it. But other than that, I like the people there. I always wanted to be a country boy anyway. You know what I mean? Even here in the States. So when I go there, I kind of think to myself, it's kind of like Lebanese country. Like it depends where you are. Like the people, they're simple. I don't want to say it like I don't mean to be disrespectful, but they're villagers. They're in agriculture. Agriculture is a big thing there. They're old school about certain ways, certain values, which I actually admire. They're very family oriented. They're very them. They're really interesting. So you want to be sure to get to meet as many Lebanese people as you can. Last but not least, number 7, Beirut. Listen, I'm in America right now. I live in Connecticut right next to New York. I'm going to tell you something. I like Beirut more than I like New York. Now, here's what I mean by that. I just mean the buildings and the architecture. It's more spaced out. It's older. There's more culture. It's rich in history. I'm the type of guy that doesn't mind a few bullet holes in the buildings. The explosions, on the other hand, do tend to ruin my Wednesday. Moving on, like meaning I will be walking. I live in Ashrafiyeh, so when I walk through Ashrafiyeh, which I like to do a lot because there's a lot to stare at, I'll see chickens and bullet holes in buildings from way back when. I'm talking from the Civil War. They're still there. Nothing's really been that recovered since then. So Beirut is really old. It's really rich in culture, and it's really, really, really cool and some of the best food I ever had. You could ask anybody. Well, those are my main reasons why I love Lebanon. What are yours? Did I miss anything? What would you add to the list? Let me know in the comments below. And again, to reiterate, if you like the shirt or if you like the coffee mug or if you like anything like this, I actually do have an online merch shop where 100% of the proceeds go to economic recovery efforts in Lebanon. I try to help and create jobs over there. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to ask below. Subscribe for more content. I'm coming out with new stuff as soon as I learn how to do better with this old stuff, which we're getting there. I will see you guys next time.